Today is iPod Day. How about that?
Woohoo!
It's Thursday. Just thought I'd throw that in real quick. It is Thursday. It's the 23rd of the month. It's going so fast I can't keep up. It is the 23rd of the month of October, 2014. That means it is Thursday.
Yes,
and we're
it
happy
is.
to be here. This is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good to have you on this Thursday, towards the end of the week.
You're having the same problem.
I know, I said Wednesday. It is a Thursday.
It's Thursday the 23rd, and I want to say, right off the bat, happy birthday.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yay!
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be having one.
If I only had a candle, yeah. Well,
If you only had a candle?
I'd stand here and light that candle and...
You can sing happy birthday to me. I'll sit here and wait. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Well, you had me going.
Did the heart start
there.
going
My
a
heart
little
stopped,
faster?
and, whew, yeah,
Well, it's also Miss Barbara, our producer's birthday as well. We
sure
share the
is.
same birthday.
yes, and I've been warned not to mention any ages.
No, we never talk about ages.
Well,
We're just glad to have a birthday.
that's right. That's exactly right.
Always
So
glad
there
to
we
see
go.
them come.
I wouldn't mention it anyway.
What, the age?
Mm-hmm.
Good. We've trained you well.
Yes, you did. Yes, iPod Day is the 23rd.
That is so exciting.
Today is National Mole Day.
What kind of mold?
The underground type, the kind that
okay.
eats plants.
No, it's not.
It is Mole Day.
Not that kind of mold. It's a chemistry mold.
Oh, chemistry mole. That kind of mole. Oh, I thought it was an underground mole.
No, it's not. It's a chemistry. It's like,
A chemistry mold.
Okay, I have been told it's a chemistry mole. Mole.
That makes it even more
How
exciting.
do we know that?
I don't know.
Well,
Somebody looked it
We
up.
have to trust our producer, who's having a birthday today.
I'll get you the.
Yeah, it's a birthday.
Wow.
We don't call people out on their
And
birthdays.
today is the day that the swallows depart from Capistrano, San Juan Capistrano.
Okay.
This is when they leave. There was a movie about it. Anyway, TV talk show host day.
Woohoo!
That's almost us. Almost.
That's almost
Today is
us.
also National Pharmacy Technician Day.
Okay,
And
got
there
it.
you go.
There you go.
All right.
Huh.
That's what I say.
Well, in our community, Wayne, we've talked about before that both in the county and in the city, we have something where citizens can call, and they can call, but they can also report their concerns.
Yes.
And that's through using the system, the 311 GIS system.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little more about that? What do you know about the 311 GIS system?
You'll find the numbers on your telephone.
It is actually an app that you can download and have it right there on any mobile device.
That's what I was going to say.
Is that what you were going to
Yeah,
say?
that's what I was going
And
to
from
say.
that mobile device,
Yeah.
you can actually report potholes, signs that have fallen, tree limbs that are over the street maybe, any
Yeah.
concerns that you may have.
Sure.
You can actually take a picture of them, upload it, send it straight to this 311 GIS.
Really?
It'll come straight to the city or the county.
I mean, oh yeah, I knew that.
Just say yes.
Yes.
And once you do that, Wayne, you will also then be on the tracking line to find out what something has been done and taken care of. You'll get an email back explaining what has happened, who took care of it, and so you'll know that your problem or the issue that you saw has been done.
Really?
Isn't that something?
They actually respond and let
Yes,
you
they
know?
do.
How
Yes, they
about
do.
that?
And you can find out more about that you can go to 311gis.com, and there you can actually download the app. They offer it for both an Android and for an iPhone. That's exactly right.
That's pretty good.
Yes, it is.
You know, the county also offers that as well.
Right.
So if you just dial 311 GIS or GIS 311,
It's 311 GIS.
I was just testing.
Yeah.
So
If you see a problem, you can report a problem all on your mobile device.
that's right. Today, 1910, was the year when Blanche Scott became the first woman aviator, but they didn't call them aviators back then. They called women aviators aviatrix.
Why?
I don't know, because they were just trying to keep the women separated from the men, which is really a dumb thing to do. She was known not as an aviator, but an aviatrix.
Okay.
She soared to an altitude of a whole 12 feet over Fort Wayne, Indiana.
She really 12
She did.
feet.
Well, it was 1910.
Yeah.
They couldn't get up too high then. And Jonathan Winters became a TV star this very day. And I remember this.
What did he do?
This is 1956 when Jonathan Winters was seen coast to coast in the very first videotape recording to be broadcast coast to coast. The tape originated from WRCA-TV in New York City. The broadcast was developed for NBC network stations. And the very next day, Dave Garraway of the Today Show piece stood on camera, and the screen was split, and on one side of the camera was the Pacific, and the other side of the camera was the other side of the screen was the Atlantic.
Wow,
And I
how
remember
exciting.
seeing that. It
TV's
was.
come a long way.
Hasn't it though? Yeah.
Come a long way.
Anyway,
I believe it might be time to get our interviews.
it's time for our interview. Today we're talking with Jiles Harrell. Jiles is the district engineer for the North Carolina Department of Transportation, and you're right here in Wayne County.
That's right.
How you doing?
Good morning, Wayne.
Great to have you in the studio with us.
Good to see you.
Man, you guys are so busy. You've got so many things going on right now. We want to talk about some of these projects. We want to cover, well, we'll start with Berkeley Boulevard. Now, what's going on with Berkeley Boulevard? I know it's been a bottleneck for many, many, many years, and we're hoping that what's going on out there will alleviate some of the bottleneck, but we're kind of at a standstill right now. What's going on?
Right. We've been working on this project for the last couple of years, trying to put everything together to make it happen and put an extra lane from New Hope Road back down to US 70.
Right.
Be on the southbound side of US 13. We led a contract in the summertime this past year and had everything ready to go, and lo and behold, we ended up having another utility conflict, which we were not anticipating. So right now we're trying to sort everything out with the city, try to get either utility conflict resolved or another way to work around it. Basically, we have a gas line conflict, so it's a little bit more of a sensitive nature than say a phone line or a water line.
Well, we want to make sure everything is right with it and everything is safe with it. So, so work is kind of at a standstill right now.
Right.
And once all that is accomplished or done or fixed or taken care of, be able to move on with that.
Right. All the work that's taken place so far has been utility work. We have not mobilized our roadway contractor in at this time. We have them pretty much on hold until we get all the other conflicts resolved. So unfortunately, I don't have a very good timetable on that right now, just because it's the nature of the work.
Well, you're having to wait on somebody else.
Right.
It's outside of your control.
Right.
Where exactly is the work being done on Berkeley for anyone who may not be familiar with the work out there?
We will be adding another lane between the shopping center that has the Bed Bath & Beyond and trying to think of some other shops in there. There's a Jimmy John's and Cold
there's a
Stone.
Radio Shack and the Cold Stone ice cream.
It's going to start right there. There's a culvert just on the north side and go back beyond New Hope Road to the, pretty much going to cut off right at the Burger King there, just on the other side of New Hope Road. And we're going to add one lane to the outside as well as some curb and gutter and do some drainage improvements out there.
Okay, how's that going to affect some of the residents on that, including Sterling houses out there as well?
Well, we're going to try to accommodate traffic the best we can. Basically, we have temporary traffic control plans that will accommodate for the left turns into the neighborhoods, and we're always very sensitive to the impacts that are caused by the residents and local folks there in the area anytime we're working, no matter what project or where the project is.
All right. Yeah, you guys are very good about that, about accommodating the residents of a particular street or highway.
Right, and there are always going to be conflicts. There's going to be some inconveniences, but at the end of the day, we're putting down a product that everybody's going to be happy with. Right. So, you know, I can't say that there's always at every time and point in the day that it's going to be like it always has been, but you know, we're always trying to make sure we work around it the best we can, or as diligently as we possibly can.
It's like you say, the end result, the finished product, will be so much more helpful and so much better for the residents there.
Right.
Yeah. All right. What about Wayne Memorial Drive? In fact, that's what we're showing right here. Wayne Memorial Drive is there's a lot of work being done out there. It looks as if we're dividing the road, putting a median in. Is that what's happening?
Yes, we are. We started the work last week. Basically, we had to remove some of the asphalt in order to put a median section through there. We've had a lot of problems with left turn crashes along that corridor. The city identified it as an issue for them, as well as we've always have had it as a problem. So basically, city passed a resolution, asked us to come in and see what we can do from a safety standpoint, and we're going to be pretty much directing all the left turns to stoplight controlled intersections throughout the area there. So
Okay. So in order to turn left into a business or to a driveway, if there's not a traffic light there, they'll have to go to the next intersection where there's a traffic light and
Right.
turn. There'll be a left turn lane.
right, there'll be a left turn lane at each traffic signal, and to get to your destination, if you've passed it already, you have to do a U-turn at that area. And what we found is there's been a lot of data, historically showing that left turns are a lot of times an issue, especially on a 5-lane section like that.
Yeah.
So anytime we can direct to where they have a priority movement at the signal, it's a whole lot better, a whole lot safer.
Oh yeah.
And really, all in all, the inconveniences end up being minimal.
Now, to make sure I understood what you just said, there will be a specific dedicated signal to the left turn. Is that perhaps a turn arrow or something?
A green arrow, yes.
Green arrow,
So it's,
yeah.
it's called a protected movement. So
Okay.
basically, you don't have when you have a green arrow, you are not having to yield. Now the U-turns will have to yield.
U-turns will have to yield. Okay.
In most cases,
Yeah.
U-turns have to yield at a signal like
Mm-hmm.
that. They'll have to yield to the right turn that they're opposing. But a lot of times we find that that's minimal inconveniences
Mm-hmm.
or delays from where you're originally trying to get to.
So what's the timeline on the Wayne Memorial Drive project? What are we looking at?
We're looking at about 2 to 3 weeks for the median itself, and then we are repaving everything between 70 and New Hope Road through there. So,
okay.
at least the 3 interior lanes, the 2 outside lanes were done some time ago and are in good shape. So, being good stewards of the taxpayer dollars, we're going to save the hassle of paving those at the time being. But the interior lanes are in somewhat bad shape, so
Yeah.
we're going to be repaving those. So. For all the work, including paving and striping, to be completed out there, we're looking at a 5 to 6 week turnaround.
Well, that's not bad at all, frankly,
Right.
considering the amount of work that's going to be done.
Right.
5 to 6 weeks, getting all that done, the medians and repaving and
Right.
everything. That's a lot of work to be done in a short amount of time. And you say the paving will be from 70 all the way over to New Hope Road?
Right. The 3 interior lanes.
3 interior
So
lanes,
the 2
yeah.
travel lanes and the center turn lane are all being repaved.
Okay. All right. Recently, there was a repaving of Highway 117 South. Was
Right.
that yours as well?
Yes.
Okay. You're in charge of all of it, aren't you? Anything in Wayne County,
If it's going on in Wayne County, if I'm not in charge of it, I know something about it.
you know something about it.
So,
117 South from about Outlaw Road down to Mount Olive. That was a long stretch of paving there, and it was done in just a short amount of time. But you added a turn lane there at Outlaw Road.
Right.
Now, what was the purpose behind that? I think
Well, the turn lane there, that was we had a private developer come in and build a development there, and just to let you know, it's anytime a developer comes in, they have to do some roadway improvements if it's commercial business, especially on a higher traffic roadway. So we'll we work with them and approve the plans, and they do the work. And then in this case, they did all the widening there for the Outlaw Road turn lane, as well as turn lane into their business, and basically we worked together with them to try to perform everything, make sure it's as uniform as possible.
And the whole idea, the bottom line is safety. Is
Right.
to make sure that when people are turning into this new place of business, and it's a new retail store, Dollar General, a Family Dollar, something like that.
Right.
Going in right there at the corner. So the left turn lane going into that facility is there for safety. Because, but then the entire road was paved all the way down to Mount Olive, which was, by the way, if I may say, overdue. because the road was now. Who determines, or when? How is it determined that that a road gets repaved? What kind of condition does it have to be in?
Well, there's various things we look for. Every 2 years we do what's called a pavement condition survey, and we either our maintenance forces or folks out of Raleigh will come help us out. We basically look at all the roadway conditions throughout the county. So we ride every section of road and see, is it cracking? Does it have pothole areas there, or a lot of repaired areas already? And we take the data we gather from that and establish us basically a paving schedule from it, and we update it every 2 years.
Potholes and cracking and all that sort of thing. The highways just don't wear out from traffic. They wear out from potholes and cracking. Is that a fair assumption?
Well, traffic is always the issue with the road. And
yeah, that's what makes it worse, I guess.
Right.
But I'm thinking about wintertime when the ice and everything form on the road. They get into the water gets in the cracks and freezes, and that expands.
Right.
And that's the culprit that starts the
right.
process of the degradation of the roadways.
Yeah, a lot of times snow and ice and the freeze-thaw cycle is our main culprit. But that and just traffic loading,
Yeah.
Heavy trucks do more damage than small cars do, obviously.
Yeah.
So traffic loading is what we always design for and anticipate. But we do got to keep in mind the freeze-thaw cycle and how it affects our roadways.
Yep.
So we do have preventative maintenance measures that we take. Crack sealing and that sort of thing that do help out with the freeze-thaw cycle and prevent it from being an issue. But if you see a lot of times when we have a snow and any ice forms on the road, soon thereafter you tend to have a lot of potholes.
You're going to see some potholes eventually,
Right.
very soon, in fact. What about how are we doing on the Highway 70 bypass? Is that progressing as it's supposed to be? Are we on target?
It's coming along well. There's two different sections, the east end and west end, that's currently underway right now. NC 44 is going to be the centerpiece, which we finished a couple years ago. The west side is from NC 581 to I-795. It's a little bit ahead of schedule right now. We're anticipating a completion sometime in 2015, probably later in the year. I believe the contract completion date on that was spring of 2016. I believe it was in April. So we are a little bit ahead of schedule, but we've had some things that have gone well on that side of the county that on the other side have not been as advantageous for us. Basically, we've had some material challenges as well as some weather delays on the eastern section, which is a longer section, I might add. So we're a couple months behind on that one, but all in all, they'll be completed, I'd say, within 6 months to a year of each other. So
were we hoping that both ends would be opening at the same time? Was that ideal?
That was the target, but it's when you're planning something 2 or 3 years out, it's always hard to say. Exactly how it's going to happen. So,
well, is it possible that the Wayne County side will be opening earlier than the other side?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that one's going to open early, and
right.
And,
we're anticipating opening as soon as we finish that section and it's safe and ready for the motors to use. We're going to proceed with allowing them to use it. Is the plan at this time. So just it would cut off some time between 581 and 795, open some access up there, as well as on down to Wayne Memorial. And the eastern section is probably not too much further behind that.
Really?
So,
okay, well that's good news.
It's something that it'll be a little bit different for a short amount of time, but all in all, there's going to be 20 plus miles of bypass out there that's just going to be able to zip everybody through Wayne County. So
wow, Jiles, the Wayne County side of that bypass, the middle section is designated as Interstate 44. Is it interstate?
It's NC 44.
NC 44.
It's an NC route.
Okay, that designation, will that stick to the entire route, NC 44, or will it change over to 70?
We're looking on the best way to sign it right now. We're basically debating on whether or not we're going to use a US 70 business or versus bypass, or are we going to go ahead and just designate it also as NC 44 and wait for it to all be completed. Until it interconnects from one side of the county to the other, it can't officially be signed US 70,
right?
Because we have to provide for out-of-state traffic on the U.S. routes, more or less know where all the out-of-state travelers as well as all the truckers.
Yeah. Well, now we have a US 70 bypass now.
Right.
How does that work when you replace a bypass with another bypass? What becomes of the first bypass designation? How do you change that?
The bypass piece here in Goldsboro?
Yes.
That would become US 70 business more than likely.
Okay. Well, what about 70 business now? Would that just be East Ash Street or West Ash Street?
It would probably be, let's say, US 70 alternate, or we have different ways of designating that, but. That's something that is in the works right now.
Okay.
So I can't provide you exactly how it's going to be signed.
I understand. There's still some time.
Right.
Still some time to get all that worked out. Okay. Well, then there's I-795. All right. That comes from the Wilson area that stops abruptly at West Ash Street, and the plan eventually is to extend it on down to meet up with the connector road south of Mount Olive.
Right.
Is that the plan?
And go on down to I-40.
And go on down to I-40.
It's been identified by both Sampson, Duplin, and Wayne counties as an important corridor for interstate travel. There are different alternates right now being studied. The main hurdle is going to be obviously the section around Marmac between where the 117 bypass per se is currently ending right now in Marmac coming from Mount Olive.
Yeah.
So that section right there is currently under study. They're trying to pick the best corridor, best route, and best way to go.
Yeah. That's right there near the fairgrounds.
Right. Between the fairgrounds and tying back up into Ash Street is going to be the main hurdle. There's some environmental challenges as well. A lot of businesses through there that are going to have to be thought of. So it's currently under study. They're going to have to pick the best route and go with it, and then proceed on with design once the route alternate is picked.
A highway that's designated as interstate quality, you don't have any driveways or entrances and exits like that. You have service roads, and so is an alternative. Is the plan to go perhaps using the existing corridor? Or is there an alternative plan to go around all this?
Right now, there's different alternates being studied, both new location and upgrading existing corridors.
Yeah.
So both of them will be looked at with a lot of scrutiny. But it's something that anytime we're working on an interstate, we have to go through the steps, and looking at various alternatives is just something that is mandated to us by federal highways.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of work regardless of how you look at it.
It will be.
A lot of work.
There's a lot of planning and a lot of things that had to go on up front before we even start construction, hit the ground running. So
I would also think that there would be an environmental study as well.
Right.
That's always the case, and sometimes that tends to hold things up sometimes.
It can
greatly.
But that's just one
part of
many hurdles we have to jump over. So
yeah. All right, so we got 795, we've got 70 bypass. We talked about the Berkeley and Berkeley and Wayne Memorial Drive, and Highway 117 around in the Dudley area.
Right.
What else is going on? Is there anything else going on?
Well, we have a lot of paving operations that have been going on over the past couple of months. I'm sure throughout the county, folks have seen a lot of new black asphalt being put down out there. So we're working on completing those contracts and getting ready for next year. Every year we do a different, we have a different resurfacing allocation that we have to plan for. So basically we'll start the process all again in the spring. So
there's always something to do. Always repaving and everything. How long? And just curious about this. How long does it take to pave a mile of two-lane highway, just a basic highway?
It all depends. If you got just a regular short two-lane highway, you can get it anywhere from a day to 2 days. So,
really, a mile?
But it all depends on how many intersections you have. We have to take those into account, as well as granted, we don't pave the driveways, but if there's no driveways, it tends to speed up the operation somewhat. So
I also noticed that when you're doing your repaving, that you tend to leave a little lip at the driveways for the residents. Is that you don't have to do that? Is that something that the state's just being nice about? Or?
Well, we don't want we try to avoid any challenges of access to residential folks. or as well as businesses. So what we'll do is usually when we're going by a driveway, if it's needs to be kicked out a foot or two, then we do that, and just to help with getting in and out of the driveway. Because even though we're only coming up from the original asphalt surface about 1.5 inches or so,
Yeah.
it still can be somewhat of a bump there. So we try to eliminate that the best we can.
I also have seen in times past where when you're passing an open field, that occasionally there appears to be the preparation for a driveway that goes into what would perhaps become a business or something like that, but there's nothing there yet. How is that determined? When you leave a gutter area or an area that's open when there's nothing there, are you following a plan of some sort, or is there do you know of a future plan to build a shopping center or something there?
We have to treat each property owner, each parcel different. Basically, if we're coming through building a road, we try to always provide access to whoever the property owner may be. So a lot of times you'll see that follows property lines. If there is, say, a curb and gutter section that has a driveway lip there, that would just be because that's the ideal spot for a driveway to be, or that's what was negotiated in the right-of-way agreement. So that varies. It's a case-by-case basis.
I'm sure it does.
It could go multiple ways.
Wow. Okay. This is great information here. If somebody wanted to know more, is any of this information available online?
Yes, we have a pretty extensive amount of information on our website at ncdot.gov.
ncdot.gov.
Right.
Now, tell me about Tim's.
About Tim's?
Yeah.
It's our traveler information system. It's basically it provides notifications of road closures and anything of that nature. So it's a pretty useful tool.
Very much
and
so. Yeah.
Anytime we're doing road work, or major road work, I should say, you see a lot more of the major road work entries put in. Basically, it's just a notification for folks as they're traveling throughout the whole state. They can pick up and see, well, there may be some road construction on this route. Maybe we should try this other route over here.
Right.
But it just helps make the public aware of what operations we have going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of good information on there. I've been following that web page for a long time there.
Right.
That's ncdot.gov. I think it's /TIMS, T-I-M-S.
Possibly so.
Somewhere around, something
if you go to the main page, you look for travel information.
Travel information.
And that'll take you right to it.
And those who are not who do not have a computer can also get some information over the phone.
Right.
Is it 511? Yes, it is.
It has been 511 in the past.
Is it changing?
Well, I don't know.
Let me put you on the spot here.
I don't have to call it. So.
That's right. Oh, that's right. You're the man.
Well, but I do believe it is 511.
Yeah, I think it's 511.
And there's some, also on our website, there's some other numbers you may be able to call for assistance.
All right. Yeah, and in fact, that 511 will prompt you to you tell them what county you want to know about, and then it'll give you that information right over the phone.
Right.
511. All right. Wow, Giles, we're out of time, man. This has been great. You're going to have to come back and talk to us again.
I'm more than happy to.
All right, my friend. Giles Harrell
Thank you.
is the district engineer for the North Carolina Department of Transportation right here in Wayne County. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, now that we have that straight, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Birthdays today, I have two. Weird Al Yankovic.
We share the same birthday as Weird Al?
You do. You share the same birthday as Weird Al Yankovic. He is 55 today.
Johnny Carson was born on this day.
And so was Johnny Carson, but he's dead.
Yes.
But Weird Al is not, and he is a very funny guy. He did songs, and if you don't know who that is, he did song parodies, which means he took legitimate songs and changed the words and made them really, really funny. Instead of beat it, he did eat it. My Sharona,
yes.
My Bologna.
Of course he did.
Right. Another one rides the bus instead of another one bites the dust. Instead of I love rock and roll.
Let's go to some other better
Okay.
birthday.
He did I Love Rocky Road. He's so blooming funny. Anyway, the other birthday, you remember WKRP in Cincinnati,
Yes,
right?
I
The
do.
newsman was Les Nesman.
Yes.
Well, he's not having a birthday today.
Okay.
But he never could pronounce Chichi Rodriguez's birthday, real name. Chichi Rodriguez, He called him Chai Rodriguez.
Oh my.
Yes, mine too. But anyway, Chichi Rodriguez's first name is Juan,
Okay.
which doesn't sound at all like Chichi. But anyway, he's 79 years today.
Oh, it's his birthday. Okay.
It's his birthday.
I didn't know where we were going
I
with
went
that.
around the world.
I want somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Do we know, is there somebody we know that's
There's a
having a
bunch of them,
birthday?
but I didn't write them down.
Oh, man.
Oh, well, okay. Did you see? She stuck her tongue out at me. And that's on camera.
No, it's not.
Okay, but yeah, she'll probably edit that out, don't you think? She'll cut that out. Okay. Oh, that's tomorrow.
That's right. Let's see. Reminding you about the Wayne County Cornhole. It is a charity cornhole event. If you're interested in participating, they want you to come out and you can be a sponsor or a volunteer or a vendor. You can register online at waynecountycornhole.com. This is a charity event, like we said. It'll take place from 9 to 11 a.m. Oh, that's the check-in time. Then play starts at 12. And they have different types of teams. It's called elimination play. Boards and bags will be provided. $40 per team. Maximum of 64 teams. Lots of cash prizes.
Whoa.
It's a family event. Come on out and enjoy. WayneCountyCornhole.com.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Okay.
What else is happening?
Okay, the 23rd, a blood drive today.
That's today.
Today, woo! At Charles B. Aycock High School in Pikeville. Now they're looking for double red cells and also just plain old ordinary everyday run-of-the-mill blood. I want your blood. I said it.
Yes, you did.
I didn't mean to say that.
Yes, you did.
I want your blood. Okay, that's what they want. They want your blood. And anybody can go to this, providing you are qualified and eligible to give blood. You may certainly do so. They'd love to see you.
Yes, they will.
Medicare Part D open enrollment is underway now through December 7th. Most days from 9 till noon, not the weekends, but weekdays 9 till noon, now until December 7th at the Senior Center, the Peggy M. Seeger Senior Center on East Ash Street, Goldsboro, USA.
That is a mouthful.
I'm telling you.
And remember, for trick-or-treating, the official hours are for the city are actually 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Please make sure that you stay safe and keep your children safe. If you would like to do something a little different and have a different option, the Cliffs of the Neuse State Park are having a trunk or treat family fun night from 6:30 until 9 p.m. They're having a movie, games, hot dogs, all kinds of refreshments.
Oh boy.
All for children ages 12 and under. Call them for more information. Let's see if they've given us a number. Yes, 919-778-6234.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. So get your trunk out to the Cliffs of the Neuse.
Filled with
Park.
candy.
Filled with candy.
That's
yes,
right.
yes. Wayne votes early. There are 5 locations where you may vote early in the midterm election.
Do you know that website, our local website?
Yeah, it's WayneVotesEarly.com. Or you can go to, that's the easiest.
Right.
That's the easiest,
easier to
WayneVotesEarly.com.
remember, too.
Yeah, but you can also go to the WayneGov.com/BOE, Board of Elections.
Exactly.
And get the same information. So go to WayneVotesEarly.com, and there's all kinds of stuff there. Where you can vote, where, in fact, you can even check your registration to make sure you're
Yes,
still
you can.
registered to vote. And according to what Rosemary said the other day, if you have not voted in the past few elections, you may still be eligible to vote without having to register, but you need to call their office
Ahead of time, I'm sure.
ahead of time. Yeah, so they can check it all out. 731-1411, 919-731-1411. And if there's any question at all about it, you can be given a provisional ballot, which means that you'll be given a ballot, you vote, and then they are able to determine at some point your eligibility. If they can't determine your eligibility, the vote will not count.
Do we need photo IDs when we go to vote these days?
We do not need photo ID
Okay.
this time. Midterm elections 2014 will not require an ID, however 2016 will.
There you go.
All right,
I believe that is all for today.
and there you go. So we're going to do this again tomorrow. Join us again tomorrow, because tomorrow is Friday.
Yes,
we'll
it
be right
is.
here at 7 a.m. It repeats at noon, then again at 5:30 p.m. So until tomorrow on Wayne Goldsboro Television, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and this is what's happening in your community.